NH1 News on WBIN-TV starts right now. Coming up tonight on NH1 News at 5, hundreds of children across the U.S. have been sickened by a severe respiratory illness. And now, the virus has spread to the Northeast. What you need to look out for.
I feel like large parts of my life have been stolen, and a little bit of mild cannabis could give them back to me.
Playing the waiting game. How those in need of medical marijuana are stuck in limbo, still waiting for a legal way to get their cannabis. This is New Hampshire 1 News at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kiki Vensel.
And I'm Paul Mueller. A dangerous virus now making its way towards the Northeast, and it could have your children at risk.
It's called the enterovirus D68, and so far the CDC says it's confirmed 97 cases in 6 different states. And tonight reports that it's showing up here in the Northeast. Cases have sprouted up in Connecticut and New York. Symptoms are not that different from the common cold, but doctors say you should look for blueness around the lips, and in younger kids, difficulty breathing and wheezing have often been prevalent. Officials say there is a chance it could come to New Hampshire.
And so it certainly could be making its way here. You know, the thing to remember is that just like people with the cold, you can prevent this by practicing good hand hygiene, avoiding contact with people's respiratory secretions.
And there is no specific treatment for people with the virus, and there is no vaccine for prevention. The CDC says we are in the middle of the season for the enterovirus, and that infections are likely to decline later on in the fall. Meantime, the Triple E virus is popping up in the Seacoast. A mosquito batch in Portsmouth testing positive for the disease. Of course, this comes the same week a second human case of Triple E confirmed in Hopkinton. The first human case this year confirmed last month in Conway. And this morning's arraignment of a former high school student charged with sexually assaulting a 15-year-old teen was canceled in light of an indictment by a grand jury.
Owen Labrie faces 3 counts of felony sexual assault charges in addition to several misdemeanor charges. Police say it all happened in May on the campus of St. Paul's. It's a prominent boarding school here in Concord. Court documents say he used a school email to contact freshmen, all part of an annual tradition called the Senior Salute, where seniors try to get a romantic encounter with younger students just before graduation. The indictment also states that Labrie bit the victim's chest during the alleged assault. A future court date is expected to be set for Labrie, who had been planning to attend Harvard University in the fall. We're told he is no longer enrolled. And turning now to other news, lawyers for convicted murderer Seth Mazzaglia plan to appeal. Mazzaglia was sentenced in August to life without parole for raping and killing Elizabeth Lizzie Marriott, a University of New Hampshire student from Massachusetts. Mazzaglia denied raping and killing Marriott, but said he had helped cover up her murder. Key witness Catherine McDonough testified that she lured Marriott to Mazzaglia's apartment as a sexual offering for her domineering boyfriend. Then Mazzaglia strangled Marriott when she resisted his advances.
Well, it is a debate happening in a number of states across the country, and it is no different right here in New Hampshire. We are talking about medical marijuana. NH1 Sherry Small now joins us with a look at where our state stands.
New Hampshire lawmakers tried to get a therapeutic cannabis law passed for years, but were vetoed twice by former Governor John Lynch. In 2013, they were finally successful. But today, in order for a patient to get their hands on marijuana, they still have to break the law.
For Ellen McClung, simple things like getting the mail can be a challenge.
Want to go get the mail?
She came down with multiple sclerosis nearly 40 years ago, a disease that attacks the nervous system. When it moved into her spine, she started having spasms.
The signal, it's just like a copper wire in an electrical system. The signal goes astray, and when that happens inside your body, it hurts. And cannabis can help relieve that.
The MS has also caused her to go blind in her left eye. And on top of all of that, she has glaucoma. Marijuana helps her with that too by relieving the pressure in her eyes. So every day she goes without is another day of needless pain.
My eye doctor said to me, gee, it's too bad you can't move to Colorado.
Instead, she's waiting for New Hampshire's therapeutic cannabis law to fully take effect. The bill passed in early 2013 with broad bipartisan support, and then it was signed into law by the governor. But here we are, nearing the end of 2014, and patients still can't get marijuana legally. Why? Representative James McKay says it takes time to build a legal infrastructure.
The first stage was to define what illnesses qualified, and by specifically naming the illness and also naming certain symptoms.
The Department of Health and Human Services will eventually issue cards to those who qualify.
The department will not give out those certificates until the dispensaries are in effect.
The next step is to write the rules by which dispensaries will grow and sell marijuana to patients. The law says that needs to be done by this coming January. When it is all finally in place and working, a patient with a registry card should be able to legally possess 2 ounces of marijuana. But Representative McKay says that's still a ways out.
I would say 6 months to a year. And that's a guess, because it depends on how quickly all of these processes move.
In the meanwhile, people like McClung are risking arrest just to find some relief.
When I can risk breaking the law, because, I mean, you have to drop some serious money to buy pot off the black market if you want clean, good pot.
And if you're wondering why Ellen doesn't just take prescription meds for MS, she says she's allergic to them. She also says taking Valium for pain just leaves her zoned out. Now, we are going to continue following the medical marijuana issue here at NH1. Next, we'll look at the zoning laws dictating where dispensaries will set up shop and how close they might come to your home or school. Paul, Kiki?
Sherry, thank you so much. You know, and the debate still rages on.
Yeah, and it's certainly not the last we've heard of it.
Right, because you can feel for some people. A lot of people feel for people who have these kind of debilitating diseases.
And in her case, an allergy to mainstream medicine.
Right,
so
but is it legal or is it not legal? And that's what lawmakers are dealing with.
Polarizing issue.
It certainly is. All right, another great day out there. Perfect weather,
Yes.
Kiki, for what, apple picking? Or...
And for a Monday, let's face it, sunshine on a Monday, it makes me feel pretty good.
You can't beat it.
Let's turn things over to Clayton Stiver. Clayton?
Yeah, Kiki, Paul, certainly starting to feel more like fall out there, folks. How about the chilly start we had this morning? A lot of locations down into the 30s. And yes, we did have some frost advisories out there. The good news for any folks dealing with the sensitive vegetation, not expecting the frost here for this night. Yeah, we're going to be talking some warmer overnight lows as we have some clouds rolling in with a storm system, and that will bring us some rain shower chances, I think, as we get into our morning commute. The good news, as we get into Tuesday afternoon, should see some clearing sky, and it looks like much of the rest of the week then featuring some fair skies for us. For this night here, we are talking about the warmer overnight lows. Whether you're in Monadnock here, the Merrimack Valley, the Lakes region, over towards the seacoast, it looks like mid to upper 40s. The seacoast there with the water, maybe even a little bit warmer in the low to middle 50s. Our planner for Tuesday then, you'll need the umbrella first thing in the morning here with the showers. Have the rain jackets on the kids as they head off to the bus stop. 47 degrees. Notice the noon hour, though. Skies start to clear a little bit. That shower chance down to 30%. So a lot of us starting to dry out now, 63. And by the time we get later into the afternoon, a lot of sunshine returns. Temperatures in the middle 60s. As said, much of the rest of the week looking quite nice. The question, will these temperatures warm up a little bit more? I'll let you know in a bit. Kiki, Paul?
Looking forward to that answer.
I used my space heater last night for the first time.
Okay, I'll admit I use the heater too.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone there.
All right, with 50 days to go until Election Day, a new poll says the crucial Senate battle between Jeanne Shaheen and Scott Brown, well, it is deadlocked.
According to a CNN survey out this morning, the Democratic senator and her Republican challenger are each at 48% among likely voters here in New Hampshire. NH1 political director Paul Steinhauser joins us to break down the numbers and give us a closer look at the candidates. Paul?
With the primaries over, we are now in prime time in a crucial Senate battle that could very well determine which political party controls the chamber next year. Why don't we start by taking a closer look at both candidates in the Senate race? Why don't we start with Jeanne Shaheen? Listen, the senator is very, very well known here in New Hampshire in her first term, and she was a two-term former governor. In fact, she is the first woman ever elected both governor and senator here in U.S. history. She's also the mother of 3 daughters. What about her challenger, Scott Brown? Listen, he served 3 years as a senator from Massachusetts. He moved up here and declared residency in New Hampshire at the end of last year. Here's something you may not know about him. He did some modeling as a younger man, and he is the father of 2 daughters, and guess what? Both of them got married. Both of them got married this summer. A busy summer for Scott Brown. Back to that poll we were just looking at from CNN. It shows it dead even between the 2 candidates. Here's why. We're going to give the likability factor to Jeanne Shaheen. In the poll, her favorable ratings are better than Scott Brown's. But the Obama factor, as we call it, is one reason why Scott Brown is dead even in this poll. Guess what? The president's approval rating in New Hampshire, just 38%. And you know Scott Brown has been tying Jeanne Shaheen to President Obama as much as he can. Here's another reason Scott Brown is tied with Shaheen. Younger voters, traditionally, they back Democrats. But guess what? Brown has the edge among younger voters. Interesting, Shaheen has the edge among older voters who tend to back Republicans. Independents, also, Scott Brown with a slight edge in the CNN poll. And the gender gap, it's a big one, but we're not going to give any check marks because Shaheen has a huge lead among women. Brown has a big lead among men. Now, there's another poll we believe coming out tomorrow, and it could be very interesting and have some different results. Stay tuned for that. Kiki, Paul?
Thanks a lot there, Paul. And by the way, NH1 will be hosting debates for the Senate race as well as the gubernatorial and both congressional contests coming up next month. Still ahead on NH1 at 5 o'clock tonight, one of the Earth's most dazzling natural wonders. We're going to take a look at these lights like you have never seen them before atop of Mount Washington.
That is amazing. And now is the team we're all going to remember, a big win. We'll take a look at the Patriots, all that and more, and that light show coming up. It's right after the break. Stay with us. More local news now, this time in Manchester. Police there looking for your help following 2 robberies over the weekend. Now, the first one happening early Saturday morning at the Cumberland Farms, that's on Union Street. The suspect, police say, showing a handgun and then making off with some cash and a carton of cigarettes. The second robbery reported early Sunday morning at the CVS pharmacy, that's on Mammoth Road. The suspect, whose arm, as you can see right there in the video, so he was in a sling, said he had a gun and demanded oxycodone pills. If you have any information about either case, you're urged to give Manchester police a call.
New Hampshire has the 3rd largest legislative body in the English-speaking world. As a result, every primary often leads to some changes. NH1's chief political correspondent, Kevin Landrigan, has more.
In any other state, when 9 state legislators lose their primaries, it's a tidal wave. In New Hampshire's 400-person House of Representatives, it's more like a ripple. Greg Moore, state director of the right-wing Americans for Prosperity, once served as House Chief of Staff.
Incumbents in New Hampshire, we see it every 2 years. We see a handful of incumbents knocked off.
All but one of the unlucky 10 to lose were Republicans. The GOP had far more competition for their seats on Tuesday than Democrats, who were in the majority. The big-name loser was 6-term state rep John Graham in Bedford. He's a prime architect of the first gas tax increase in a decade, making him a big target of conservatives. But most of the rest who lost proved that added. The politics is local and personal. Mayor Linda Garcia won nomination of Congress on Tuesday, but her sister Bianca lost a House seat in Salem. Why? Bianca stopped campaigning because she's in search of work outside the state.
The individual races came down to local issues. It wasn't necessarily one unifying factor.
Now it's an 8-week sprint to November. Both parties consider this battle for control of the New Hampshire House one of the most competitive in the country. This is Chief Political Correspondent Kevin Landrigan, NH1 News.
All right, still ahead on NH1 News at 5. Quite the sight to see.
No doubt about it. A look at the incredible display of color from high above Mount Washington.
Spectacular stuff there. And folks, we're talking about some rain showers moving in after the midnight hour here tonight. The clouds helping to keep temperatures a little warmer. Morning showers tomorrow, then clearing sky that looks like much of the week going to feature some nice weather. I'll tell you about it straight ahead with the 7-day.
Welcome back, and talk about a great Monday outside.
Beautiful.
Good for the kids at the bus stop this morning.
They didn't
chilly,
though.
Yeah, a little chilly.
Bundle up. We had temperatures
Pack
in the 30s
up
and some frost.
Jacket.
But yeah, it warmed up nicely, and you can see behind me now forecasting some rain showers for our Tuesday. That'll be the first part of the day, but then I do expect clearing sky as we get into the afternoon. So some good news there.
And speaking of skies, we want to show you some video. You have to look at this. And it's a time-lapse video, and it's actually from Mount Washington. This is of the Aurora Borealis.
Yes, and it's an awesome place to get spectacular views, obviously, astronomical purposes. I've been up there top myself. I haven't actually checked out a Northern Lights display.
I take the train, Clayton. That's my preference.
The Cog Railway, for
You're
sure.
tougher than I am.
Good stuff. But let's go back and talk about the Northern Lights here real quick, folks, because, yeah, we have a great view, obviously, that we saw there the other night from atop Mount Washington. You know, there's a reason behind this, though. It's a scientific reasoning, if you will, for why we see these spectacular colors, and I put a little weather fun fact up here for you. We call it the Aurora Borealis, and it's a natural light display of streamers. It's caused by essentially a collision of gaseous particles in the Earth's atmosphere with energy that comes out from the sun. We were talking about this solar flare, if you will, this geomagnetic storm from the sun. That sent off these particles that kind of collided with particles in the Earth's atmosphere, and that's how you get those spectacular colors. So a little fun fact there for you. For your evening weathercast. Now, weather-wise for outdoor plans here, we're talking Tuesday with a chance for rain showers here. We're still going to call it good for outdoor activities, and the reason why is because it's the morning, I think, when we have the chance for showers. We'll need that umbrella there. But once we get into the afternoon, I'm expecting clearing skies, temperatures in the 60s, not much of a breeze. And it looks like as we continue through the week, Wednesday looking quite good, Thursday sunny as well. Into Friday here also enjoying the sunshine. Temperatures look to be in the 60s and not much of a breeze. So overall, not too bad to get outside the next several days. Let's take you hour by hour here this evening. We'll have still some clear sky for tonight as temperatures fall back into the 50s. This is from Manchester, by the way, folks. I think we'll see very similar conditions around the viewing area. For tomorrow morning, though, we have the chance for showers. I think these showers could start as early as, say, 3, 4 a.m. and then right up for sunrise here. And as you head out and about for your morning commute, we'll have the windshield washers going here with the rain showers. Maybe some early morning fog as well. But then skies clearing up as we get into the afternoon, and the nighttime looks to be mainly clear for us. Low temperatures down into the upper 40s. Now for Wednesday, high at 68. Sunshine galore. Look at Thursday, though, 64, and that low temperature dropping down to 35. We were talking about frost last night in a frost advisory. We may see more of those issued again for Thursday night and also Friday night with a temperature down to 36. A lot of sunshine for Friday, and then Saturday looks good, sunny, up to 68. We're warming back in the 70s by Sunday. Then we'll be tracking another cold front moving through. That could bring us some showers for our late Sunday night, and that will help to cool those temperatures back off by our Monday, back in the upper 60s, and you can see those overnight lows getting cooler again. I'll have more of your forecast coming up in a bit. Kiki, Paul.
Clayton, thank you. That 74 on Sunday looked really good.
Yeah, looks very nice.
All right, big question for you, Kiki. Here it is. So which profession do you think drinks the most coffee?
Well, according to Tech Times, it says it's people in the media, and I am not surprised by that. 85% say they drink 3 or more cups a day. I actually have my cup under the desk
I've got a gallon of it underneath the desk. Aside from journalists, police officers and teachers also in the top 10 coffee consumers. All right, still ahead on NH1 News at 5 Sports. The Red Sox playoff hopes, well, they're gone, but they're still getting ready for the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Up next for Boston, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And fighting childhood obesity in the state, one healthy snack at a time. Stay with us.
You're watching NH1 News on WBIN-TV.
Trying to cut into the New England lead. It's blocked!
Oh, the first win of the year for the New England Patriots, and this could be the best play of the game. Chandler Jones blocking the Vikings' field goal attempt and running it back 57 yards for the TD. The final 30-7 Patriots. It's Bill Belichick's 200th career regular season win. The Vikings reinstating star running back Adrian Peterson. Peterson placed on the inactive list before yesterday's game after being indicted on charges of child abuse, but he's now expected to take the field on Sunday. And another NFL player in trouble with the law now sat out yesterday's Carolina Panthers home opener against the Detroit Lions. Defensive end Greg Hardy, like Peterson, also placed on the inactive list. Hardy convicted of assaulting and threatening his then ex-girlfriend. Panthers coach Ron Rivera defending the decision, saying, quote, the climate has changed and the NFL and the team, quote, has to get this right. Hardy says he is innocent and is appealing that judge's ruling.
After a day off, the Red Sox road trip continues tomorrow at Pittsburgh. Last night, they faced off against Kansas City.
To left field, struck pretty well. Alex Gordon going back onto the track at the wall. It's gone.
Daniel Nava hit a grand slam. Xander Bogaerts added a 3-run shot, and Boston pulled it off. The last place Red Sox rallied past the Kansas City Royals 8-4. No, Paul's happy about that one.
Oh, yeah. Sox all the way.
And here in the Granite State, youth soccer coaches are getting a helping hand when it comes to keeping our kids healthy. They'll get coupon booklets for discounts on fruits and vegetables to share with their teams. It's all part of the Snack It Up program, reaching out to more than 3,000 young athletes this fall.
You know, I got to tell you guys, this is as good as it gets. Good weather, good sports, you know, the Sox win and the Patriots win.
A great start to the week. I don't think you can ask for a whole lot more.
And a great start for us here at NH1 News. What else do you want?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's awesome, but Mother Nature has a little bit different plan in place.
Just to keep us on our toes.
Exactly. That's how we want it.
And don't kill the messenger, as always.
Exactly,
right.
Please. We're just passing along scientific information to you folks here. I am a meteorologist, and I do want to tell you that we are tracking rain showers here tonight. We have this cold front that's going to be pushing in overnight into our Tuesday, and that will provide us with some mainly light rain showers. You think back to the weekend, folks, on our Saturday, I think that may be very similar to what we're going to see here for our Tuesday morning. It looks like these light rain showers will come in after the midnight hours. We get into the wee hours of our Tuesday morning. So say 3, 4 a.m. right up to sunrise here for that morning commute and for the kids heading off to the bus stop. 47 degrees here for Concord at 7 a.m. By the noon hour, though, notice the sun coming back out here. We may still have a slight chance for a shower, but I think a lot of us drying out at that point. 63 degrees. By late in the afternoon now, we're talking mostly sunny skies. Temperatures very similar to today in the middle 60s. And it looks like a nice clear night for tomorrow night. 54, probably not going to be as chilly over the next couple nights as what we had this past night when those lows were down into the 30s. So here we go for the next several days. We've got some early morning fog to go along with those showers for our Tuesday. Otherwise, yeah, the clearing sky, that sets the stage for a nice looking Wednesday. We're warming it up a little bit, 68 degrees there, a light west-northwesterly breeze. And by Thursday, we cool it back off just a tad, but things continuing to stay dry. It looks like the weekend will feature a big warm-up, especially as we get into the latter half of the weekend. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. Kiki, Paul.
Clayton, thank you. I know you get cold very easily, so you better get that heater.
Well, yeah, maybe another one, too, just for safety.
2 of them.
I'll put it at my desk.
You're too much.
I know.
All right, NH1 News continues next at 5:30.
That's right. The threat many people are not aware of on the seacoast and what the mayor of Portsmouth had to say about it today.
Plus, this is not your typical fall festival. We take you to a community in Hillsborough County. This event drawing people from around the world. Sherry Small joins me next for NH1 News at 5:30. We're right back.